I said I was not going to talk about this, and now you've tried to. But you say, for me, I think the greatest setback I'd faced was when I was 24. And this is a deeply personal story for me. So, like I told you, I started working at the age of 20. And then, by virtue of where I was working, I made quite a lot of money. But that also came with a little bit of carefreeness, not carelessness, carefreeness. Because I was always too open, too trusting, and just wanting to help everyone. And there was this friend of mine that I brought into my house to stay because they didn't have anywhere to stay. And at 24, I'd lost everything. You know, he scammed me, and as a result of that scam, I was thrown into, you know, massive debts, the kind of debt that even today, you would have a heart attack if you had. And he disappeared off the face of the earth. We only found him, like, I think 12 years later in the US, you know. And in all of this, I was already at Wema Bank. You know, I filed criminal complaints, was always at the police station, you know, trying to find this guy. I harbored a lot of hate in my heart. And, you know, even at work, some people later found out about it and they tried to use it to sack me. You know, reported me to the board. But you see, the most important thing, like I always say, I said earlier on, responsibility is very critical. The moment I knew about this thing, I took myself to my MD's office to report myself. This is what has happened. I'm not aware of it. I'm actually the victim here, but there are other victims that the guy scammed. And it's most likely that people will come after me to solve this thing. I mean, you know, to pay off the guy's debts and everything, because he was living in my house, he was using my cars and all of that. And through all this period, I was also working on the rebranding of my company. Wow. You know, but I would get to work at the right time. I was always the last to leave the office. In fact, some people said, oh, maybe I was running away from the people that the guy was owing. That's why I was leaving the office late. But no, I was just a hard worker. You know, and it never affected my output on that end. In fact, when my MD saw my dedication, he gave me a lawyer, fully paid by him. And he advanced me a loan to be paid back years later so that I could solve it. I did not know this man from Adam. Wow. And the entire management team was solidly behind me. Why? Simply because they could see the genuineness of my heart. They could see that regardless of what was going on around me, I was willing to add value. You know, I was doing my work, dedicated to it, and all that. And it never affected my output once. And, you know, one of my former MDs, I𝐶𝐨𝐕 𝐈𝐠𝐧𝐢𝐭𝐞, God bless his soul, of GT Bank, one of the founders of GT Bank, used to say something. You know, people are always watching. You never know. You think you're just, every day you come to work, maybe you're a cleaner, you're cleaning judiciously, you know, you're always making sure the toilets are properly cleaned. People are always watching. It could even be someone that you don't even know that could add any value to your life that day. It might get a job somewhere else and give you. I've had one of my drivers in the time past become an assistant to me. Because every day before I get to work, or when I get to work, he will take the newspapers in my office, go through them, highlight every single place where they mentioned the company I was working in. This is someone that did not go to school, you know, by the way. And he did that today. That is a template I still use today everywhere I work. That report started by my driver. Now an assistant is what I use in my role as a communications strategist, you know, to monitor news and everything. So people are always watching, and they worked and they did that. But guess what? They did from your own progress, growth, blessings, and opportunities. So yes, that is the biggest, for me, the biggest setback I've ever faced. And I'm happy today that I can, you know, speak about it this comfortably. In fact, I didn't see my family for a year and a half, my parents and siblings, because I was so ashamed. I said, this same me who fixes things for other people. When you get into trouble, you want to call Ortega because he's the fixer. Could not see, the thing in my own backyard. As the Yoruba say, kokoroton jefo, idie for lower, which is the ant that eats the vegetable, or the worm that eats the vegetable is in the vegetable itself. I didn't see that. But guess what? It is a lesson. It was a stepping stone to success. Today, I'm not less trusting. I'm still very trusting. But I have put things in place to enable me to see, and to have, a fifth sense or a sixth sense, an intuition of what can go wrong, and I plan and mitigate those risks. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that story with us. We do not take it for granted. This has capacity to not just send some people into deep depression. In fact, into situations where you just land in a mental health facility, I tell you. And a lot of persons really never pull through or overcome this sort of huge challenge. But he did, and here he is, a model to a lot of young people in the society. We've actually observed that your mindset in particular is a vital component. It has played a key role in how you attack life. How can these young leaders and entrepreneurs build a strong mindset, a mindset that is...
Marketing research is the basis of every campaign that you run. And it's the same thing to building a strong mindset. Understand what the problem is you're trying to solve. Write it down. And then from there, you work out to plan how you're going to get it done. First. And then start to build, mitigants, how to mitigate the risk. Start to build, okay, this is my route to get there. And then walk towards it every single day. So for me, every week, I have one major hard task that I want to solve. Every single week. And I can't remember for how long I've done this. One major task I want to solve. I spend at the minimum 10 to 20 minutes of reading every day. And I'm not talking of motivational, I'm not talking of motivational books here. Read everything. The best people in the world are always reading. My principal, our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is always reading. Across, specializations, across spaces, religion, psychology, philosophy, current affairs, biographies. Just read. Even if it's 3 pages you are reading a day, make sure you read something. Even if it's a newspaper article you are reading a day, just make sure you read. Because in reading, you open your mind, you start to see that the world is not always white and black. The world is mostly gray, with bursts of colors everywhere. So once you can open your mind by doing these things, you then begin to understand, okay, if this is the way everybody said this can be done, there might be routes A, B, C, D, E, all still taking us to that end. And then you decide what path you want to take. But regardless of the path you want to take, make sure that you give yourself room to be able to, if there's a fork in the road or a bend in the road, give yourself room to be able to make that bend. If you know this is my outcome, if the mission, if you have encountered a challenge and the mission is still, plausible, if the mission is still on course, if it's a yes, but the method you are using is not working, then change your method and apply another path to it. But if the mission...
There's actually a question for that, so we're coming there. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'll just stop there.
Yes, please. So, we all are aware that while going through our seasons of setbacks, let us say you've lost your capital or you go into huge debt, meaning that you're not just on ground zero, you're likely starting from, minus, right? You're going through a very tough season. You have your dreams intact, your ideas, well planned. You do not have the finances or capital yet to start what you need to start, and other turmoils all at the same time. How do you stay motivated in that process without feeling overwhelmed to go into deep depression that you cannot come out from? How do you stay motivated?
So I'll answer it with an answer from the previous question. Okay. You see, your mindset is like GPS. Without it, you can keep going round and round and round the same problems. But with it, you are certain of where you're going to, regardless of how long it takes you to get there. Once you understand that, then criticism doesn't faze you anymore. And that's it for me. In my line of work, especially now that I'm in the political space, I sleep, eat, wake up, play, pray, everything with criticism as my daily bread. Talk less of the people who are elected to lead. I don't know if you understand. It is everywhere. I was listening to Mr. Governor speak yesterday. He was saying the same things. But if you focus on that, just like the person or the mindset without GPS, you just keep going round and round and round and round. And before you know it, your time has gone, your energy is depleted, and you're bound for failure. Proper failure this time. So if you have to beat yourself up and say, oh, I'm not going to allow this thing to affect me, then do it. Eyes on the prize always. Criticism will come. It is part of your daily life. Setbacks will come. They are part of your, bread and butter. But you must still your mind, make your mind a fortress and never allow it to affect you. I know it's not easy because in all of this, you're still thinking of, oh, what am I going to have for breakfast or lunch or dinner? How am I going to pay for my hospital bills and all those things? But that is life.
In your career story, I noticed there were quite a number of times when you had to resign from some agencies, resign from some companies, from some workplace, and you did that effortlessly, smoothly. And we all know that sometimes our source of stress comes from holding on to projects that somehow we're supposed to let go of. But the trick usually lies in knowing when to hang on to a thing, when to hang on to a place, and knowing when to make a detour and change direction. How do you know when to, make some changes, stop a particular project, or leave some work? At what point do you come to that decision?
I mean, a Burna Boy changed his tone, his sound, to a different sound, even when Afrobeats had started to take over the world. But today, there's no radio station across the world that doesn't want to play Afrobeats. They are filling out stadiums. Even artists that we really do not respect here in Nigeria, Nigerian artists, are going outside there and filling out stadiums. You understand? Sometimes deciding to pivot or to stay in one place. How do you know? Can you? You know your goal. You know where you want to be. You are focused on it. But don't forget what I said earlier. When you're making your plans, and the same way you will not take nonsense from other people, don't take nonsense with yourself. Be your own self-critic first before other people will critique you. Don't say you are doing something or you are continuing in something simply because it's your lifelong dream to do that. That might be your destination to ruin. You know, the Bible will say your body is a temple. So also your dreams, your goals, your objectives are part of that temple. Don't joke with it. Funny enough, you might pivot to somewhere else. I studied public health, yet 18 years out of my 20-year career have been in communications. How did I pivot from the health profession to communications across different industries? Banking, manufacturing, now politics and policy. How? How is that even possible? Did I go to school to do extra courses or everything? No. I simply took my knowledge, my learnings from one. Public health has to do with, getting people to change their health behavior at scale, using things like communications and all of that. The framework is the same. When I went to banking, I applied that same framework into brands and marketing in the banking sector. When I went to manufacturing, I applied that same framework into selling our products and services to people that needed our products and services. And today, those same things, we applied it in 2010 to GT Bank, when they were having the whole banking industry crisis then. We started digital marketing at GT Bank, set up GT Bank's social media platforms in 2010, and all of that. Today, everybody is doing digital. That was the first corporate in Nigeria to do digital marketing. Today, everybody is doing it. And today, I am now working, so something I did last in 2010. I am now working as Senior Special Assistant to the President on Digital and New Media, heading the Presidential Office of Digital Engagement and Strategy. So things come full circle, whether you go through a straight path or you pivot at some point. In fact, I am a better digital marketer today because I pivoted from that point. I didn't stay there. I went to do other things. I learned how other things worked. And today, all those mini data points are what are helping me to do my work better. I don't know if you're understanding what I'm saying. Am I communicating?
Yes.
Thank you.
Splendid. Finally, to enable us achieve our dreams, overcome obstacles, use our setbacks as fuel to achieve success, what daily habit would you recommend for these leaders here?
I've spoken about two of them, and I'll say it again and add the last one, which is your mind, your method, and your body. Feed your mind right. Feed your mind right. It's like a garden, it's like your farm. If you plant properly, it will yield fruits. If you fail to water it, if you fail to put fertilizer or you put the wrong fertilizer, it will never yield anything. And you can feed it by opening your mind to learning, to reading, to getting the right mentors and all those things. And which now leads us into your method. How do you go about feeding your mind? Every morning you read a book. You do this, you do that, you pray. You have the right mentors. You keep the right friends around you. People that will not, they are not yes men. You need people to be able to tell you no around you. You need to be comfortable saying, hearing no from people. And then your body. Rest in the same industry, doing the same things, but your journeys are totally different. Find your unique voice and harness it.
Wow. Awesome. Please let's appreciate him. Find your unique voice, find your unique path, do what works for you, stick to goals, stick to your path. And as leaders and entrepreneurs in the house here, and even those watching online, you carry within you dreams and ideas that are capable of transforming this world, of making our society a better place, of making our Ibom state a better place, and of course Nigeria a more productive space. So we need to follow through our dreams. We need to overcome our setbacks, not just for ourselves, but for the next generation. And indeed, Without resilience, ideas can be fragile. So just as planes and rockets use the resistance and the pressure that comes with gravity to launch out into the sky, let's be fierce enough to use our setbacks to overcome all the challenges to ensure that we achieve incredible success in life.
So, 2 questions will do, because we need to end this session. Can we have the mic to the guy who's putting on shades like me?
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Oteka and Ms. 𝐸𝐸𝐺. I have really learned a lot from your knowledge. Quick one. My name is Elijah Felix. I am the CEO of Ethical Wears Fashion and Designing Hub, where we specialize in making men's wears, such as agbada, shigi, kimono, shirts, and the rest. Thank you very much. Please, my question is, what are the early warning signs that a business is losing resilience? And how can leaders detect this before it is too late? What are the early signs that us in business will know that we are losing resilience? And how can we at the same time overcome it, detect and overcome it?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Please pass to the lady in front of you. Hello? You raised your hands, right? Hello? Okay. Oh, okay, she's, all right. She has a special question. Hold on, calm down. All right, go ahead, please.
Okay, good day, everyone. My name is Victoria White. Now, here in our world today, I've heard the story of Mr. Ortega, and me as a deaf person who is resilient in whatever I've done. I'm a graduate from University of Port Harcourt, where I study special education. And right here in the world, where I face a whole lot of discrimination. Now, how do I picture this in resilience? As a deaf person, how do I overcome this discrimination while being resilient? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please hand the mic over to that lady. This way. Let's take one more. Come this way. Go to your right. This way. My right, rather. Anybody there? Can you come forward? Hold on. The first person to come forward here would have the mic. And that's all.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Please, Mr. Speaker, I want to ask, you said you had your first job at the age of 20 years. So I want to ask, compare the Nigeria of today, how is that possible? Because as a young graduate, before you got a job, you'll be asked to, they will gather a lot of experience, like 7 years experience. How do you solve that challenge? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that will be all. Ortega. Okay, one more. Please take. Hello, beautiful usher. We'll take from a lady. That lady over there, yeah, the one standing. Seven years experience. Don't be lying. Sometimes 15 years.
Good morning, everyone. Please, my question is similar to the last. Mr. Ortega, it was a very good time. Your speech...
In the young people of Akwa Ibom State yesterday. So that is not un-African. Africans celebrate Africans.
Great.
And if you see people around you not celebrating, don't talk down on Africa, don't talk down on your country. Please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've learned one. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So my question is, what most people get is that you either get it or you're set for ridicule. That's what a lot of people get. You could be ridiculed that you begin...
Most popular bank in Nigeria. Small bank. Some of my friends will even call my title and use it to laugh at me. I mean, this was 2011. 14 years down the line, I'm the one doing the laughter now. Focus on your journey. Focus on your focus. And let God do the rest. Eh? Let them say, it's your own, they are the ones talking now. It says more about them than it says about you. You are the one doing what you're doing. You have something to do. That is why they have something to say. But whilst you're doing, they are talking. And like His Excellency said yesterday, let them continue talking. You will keep acting and what? Doing. So that's that. Ms. White, thank you very much for coming here today. I mean, I am very, very much encouraged. You have just shown, by being here alone, you have shown that disability is not a barrier.
Please applaud that. Applaud.
And I must thank the CPC and the chairman for having an interpreter here. Make you feel less than you are worth. Even when you're not disabled, they still make you feel than you are. But guess what? Some of the best scientists, historians, musicians in this world have been people with disabilities. Hard of hearing, hard of sight. The most important nuclear physicist in this world could not even type. He was on a wheelchair all his entire life. He had a feeding tube down his throat. But that is the most important physicist the world has ever known. So please do not let, you see, there's ability in disability. That you cannot, you're hard of hearing, it simply means that you can develop your power of observation. And I do not intend to sound condescending, and forgive me if I do, but when God takes something from you, it gives you something else that is a superpower that no one else has. Find that superpower, hone it, and find people around you who would always make you feel like the superstar that you are. Even if it's your mother, your child, your friend, find those people that would always be the fire to your engine and go ahead and win in this world. We want to see you win. I would like to have a conversation with you after this. I know the current government is doing a lot in that space. So let's see how we can, plug you into it so that you can thrive, you can succeed, and Nigeria will be proud of you. Thank you very much.
Massive.
For Mr. 7 years experience. Okay, I didn't say this part. But I started working, yes, at that age. Well, guess what? When I was in school, I was always organizing events. It's not the school that told me to organize it. I was just organizing events. I was always doing things. When elections were going on, I would go and join campaigns just to see how it was working. No, every experience counts. Nothing is useless. And I told you something. I said my first job, I applied for an internship. 0 pay, apart from my NYC. My NYC Alawi. Volunteer. That knowledge is yours. Even if you volunteer for 4 years, guess what? That is commercial knowledge. Knowledge that you can go and commercialize and use to consult for someone else. There's always someone that has a need. Look around your community. What are the gaps there? How can you add value to it? That is a job. Sometimes rewards are not always in terms of naira and kobo. But that knowledge is yours. And that knowledge will give you naira and kobo later, if not today. So don't let any job rejection, vex you or anything. I've seen people that have gone to volunteer like me and ended up, being very senior people in organizations. The current DJ of the ICRC started from his NYSC. And then he was put in as a contract staff and everything. Today, he's the Director General of the Infrastructure and Infrastructure Concession Company in Nigeria. And there are many stories like that. Yes, there might be outliers, but your own job is continue to develop, continue to do, build mastery. So you wait for 7 years to get a job. By the time you're getting that job, you are worse off than someone who just finished from school and is coming straight into that same job. What are you bringing onto the job? If in that 7 years, you've been adding incremental value to yourself, in 7 years, you might be in entry level, but the value you'll be adding to the organization will be mid-management level. Tell me how you will stay stuck in that space for a long while. So develop yourself and all that. I can't remember the last question.
I think that's
the first question.
Early signs, right?
My brother, early signs to know resilience. The truth is, you can't know. Resilience, building resilience is an everyday thing. But when you start to see yourself, face setbacks, and you cannot get yourself out of it, or you continue to dwell in it so much, that's already a red flag. You can't know. The best thing for you to do is plan ahead. Don't forget what I said at the start of my conversation. Always plan. Have a process. Processes and systems are what saves your organizations in times of adversity. Have a business continuity plan. You might say, oh, you're a small business. What does a business continuity plan mean? It means that you are planning for unintended risks and outcomes. What if a fire happens at your shop today? How are you going to restart? How are you going to start up? Do you have that plan in place? If you fall sick and you have to be hospitalized for 6 months, will your business still survive? Do you know you can plan for that from now? It might look like something too big, but start from somewhere. Have those plans, contingency plans in place. And then, let your employees, no matter how small they are, understand their place in that plan. You've solved 70% of your work on the journey to being resilient. The other 30% is what you cannot predict. So please, process, systems, frameworks are the biggest tool for any business, small or big, to thrive and become sustainable for the long term. And may God bless all of us. Like Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said recently, Nigeria may bend, but we will never break. So also, I pray that every single person here today, you might face adversity, you might face setbacks, you may bend, but you will never, ever break by the grace of God.
Amen.
Go out and thrive, go out and succeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ortega, the Tiger, Ogra, and Miss Imabong Akpan. Thank you. And we are definitely enriched with all that they have said. If you know you've been enriched, please, a louder round of applause for them, please.
15 years of experience in strategic communications,
media
relations, and branding. Ortega has played key roles in shaping narratives around governance, policy, and citizens' engagement. Before joining the presidency, he held leadership roles in corporate communications across leading Nigerian companies, gaining recognition for his innovative approach to storytelling and digital advocacy. Passionate about the power of digital tools, Ortega believes in leveraging new media to amplify opportunities.
Raise your hand. Hello? If you're not taking notes. Okay. And talking about, 7 years experience, sometimes go to a place and tell them, don't worry, don't pay me, I just want to work. Who has tried that before? I actually did it when I wanted to get into radio 20 years ago. I was working for God. I said, no worry, don't pay me, just leave me. And ever since that job, because I was working for God, I never looked for a job again. I thought you'd clap for that now. Yeah, so I got poached and poached. From there, I got poached to another place. When I'm here, they'll come and toast me. I just got better and better. All right, we will talk about unlocking opportunities next. Our next session is about something that fuels growth faster than anything else, which is partnerships, networking, partnerships. And let's be honest again, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. All right? You want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together with people. And so, brace up for our next speaker here today. He is a leadership consultant, corporate strategist, strategist with decades of experience guiding businesses to unlock opportunities across borders. He's a man that I've known my earliest days in radio. Maybe he wouldn't know this, or he has forgotten me. I remember back then with Brilla FM in Lagos, we're always saying, make sure you play iDNANG's clip. So he had syndicated programs all over, dating back to, I'm talking about decades ago, and he remained consistent. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who has been, at the top level of big organizations, Samsung, I think Cadbury, and all of that. Now, he is a massive consultant. He's a CEO of Corporate Shepherds Limited. Let's make very welcome Mr. Idoreyin Enang. You can simply call him ID Enang. Please put your hands together as we roll his profile as he comes up.
Idoreyin Enang is the CEO of Corporate Shepherds Limited, a leadership and management consultancy. With a career spanning more than 3 decades, he has held senior roles in global organizations including Cadbury, Coca-Cola, Guinness Nigeria, and Samsung. Known for his expertise in marketing, leadership development, and strategy, ID is also a mentor and speaker who invests in raising ethical leaders across Africa. He is the former president of the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria and remains an influential voice in corporate governance and mentorship. At Ibom-LED 2025, he leads the experiential session on partnerships, showing young leaders how to unlock opportunities beyond borders and leverage collaboration for growth. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Idoreyin Enang.
Put your hands together, please. All right, can we have his slides up, please? We're having a massive presentation here. Partnerships.
Sorry. Well, good morning, everyone. The energy is too low. Are you guys hungry? Are you hungry? Igiri angbo. Ijem, ntinam. Tek, kamizu ntomo. No na ije, igi wongo ti. Amaru wongo gaga wongo. Ida sirara aba. Good morning. That energy is too low. You see Ortega travel all the way, see the energy. When I dey here, I beg, give me some good energy. Good morning. That's better. Sometimes you don't even understand how these things impact your mind. When you tell yourself you can't. Madam, I will shock you because a lot of things about Africa, I am one man, I'm thoroughly African. Don't ever throw down what you have. It is in your hands. Make good use of it. And I'm glad Ortega, caught it. A lot of us, we short-circuit ourselves for no reason. You can't shoot yourself and expect that they will not shoot you. I beg, let's give it up for my friend again. This is my Oga. These are the people that taught us how to communicate and still teaching. Well done. Well done, Ortega. We're so proud of you.
He's denying that he's your guy.
He can't deny now. Leave him. When we reach junction, and my senior Oga, we sit down here, I'm Charles Sudo. And of course, shout out to His Excellency, Pastor Omoino. I was hoping I would be able to grab him yesterday. Let's just give God a round of applause for these wonderful vessels. Wonderful vessels, wonderful vessels. Well, I'm glad to be here. I had the rare privilege of being part of the very first Ignite conference 8 years ago. So this is my second, and it's good to know that when life gives you everything, you make the best of it. So thank you, His Excellency, for keeping this flame alive, and also to everybody. I have a few slides, and I don't know if the control room can help me. It's not as if...
I think it's on.
Yeah, someone needs to help me switch it on so you guys see. Zebediah says, see, I believe. Let me see if they could also give me.
Can we have the slide of Mr. ID? Control?
Well, I like the way Ortega put it up. I tend to work better when I show you images. And the images are things that will locked in your mind. That's why I'm so very particular, because I spent quality time to put them together. The topic I've been given is unlocking opportunities beyond borders and the power of partnerships. I decided to give it my own copy or footnote, Harnessing Nigeria and Africa's Global Potential. I didn't even know that I was going to have my Oga Ortega, run before me. And it's not as if we exchange notes. So coming and listening to him speak about everything that has, brought us all together from a resilient standpoint. I'm a very, very proud African. I'm a very, very proud Nigerian. And I am proudest Akwa Ibom boy standing, by the grace of God. I say that you may not believe it, but I'm telling you the truth. It's been 35 years in corporate Nigeria, and God has been faithful. That's why, when you look at this, I wanted those slides to be able to stay in your head, because a lot of you look down on yourselves. I am from Ikhotokpene. I started my career. I'll show you. That's why I want it up. I didn't start from a place of being the son of a rich man. When they talk about the power of partnerships, I want to start from a place that will let you understand that it's the evolution of you. When you find your authentic self and lead with purpose, you would succeed in any world. And that started with my father. Unfortunately, this year, God decided to take him a few days to his 90th birthday. And yesterday or 2 days ago would have been his 60th wedding anniversary with my mom. So, I'm now of partnership. But for Asukwenang, Sina Konenang, there won't be Dorenang. Starting from who you are, God Almighty knew. There are certain things you can't choose. You can't choose who your father will be. Neither you choose your mother. And you can't choose your boss. So when you are African, God, yes, you can't choose your boss. Trust me. You can't sit down and say, that is my boss. Who born you? Unless now you get the business. If you own the business, then you can call a board. They will still defer to you because you are the visionary. I'm letting you understand that this journey of partnership started when you didn't even understand what it was all about. And I hope the control room will help me. Otherwise, I'll roll my tape and continue.
Control.
Because there are certain images I wanted to show you. The first one that I had there was the image of a fox. The fox symbolizes adaptability, cleverness, and the spirit of exploration. If my father did not explore, step out of the comfort, he later started bringing his brothers, all of them, to Lagos. And we were living in Surulere. I know all my uncles were brought by my father. They stayed with us. Growing up, I saw uncle this, uncle that, auntie this. They were all his siblings. My grandfather had 7 wives. My father was the first son of the first wife, and I'm his first son. I'm talking to you, Boba. You can sit here and think that the government will serve you. If you don't serve and feed your mind, you will be grass. Another person will feed on you. But the fox is clever. And it has the spirit of what? Exploration. Your journey to becoming who you're meant to be and who you are meant to be, it's an evolution. It's a process. And if you want to doubt it, go and study elementary biology. Look at the butterfly. Look at that process. Then you'll understand that yesterday ended last night, today is a new day. You cannot live on the successes of yesterday. I mean, when people tell me, oh, ID, you are this, I look at them and I laugh. I said, everything you are reading, that you are seeing, history. His story, it is my story. And I'm writing the next level now. I wrote a book in 2021, In the Grip of Grace, chronicling my life's journey by the grace of God. But I tell you, that book is still, it's past. I'm pressing on to the mark of my upward calling. That's why I'm here. You know, I was saying to my very good friend that you won't understand it. Many of you sit back. Don't let people deceive you. They will say, oh, Lagos boys are coming here. The people that are making noise about Lagos people, let them leave Akwa Ibom and come to Lagos and become MD. You think they will open the doors for you? You think the boys in the West who are serious, you are crossing borders, you become a second-class citizen. But when you make yourself of repute with mastery, they forget your citizenship. I will tell you, that's why I want these images on, because you will see that the journey begins when you decide to take that step. Many people say a journey of 1,000 miles starts with what? I don't believe in it. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a decision. You can choose to move or you can choose to stay. Life is an incredible adventure of self-discovery. All of us, including me, we are all on a unique path. But if you decide not to, don't blame anybody, but blame yourself. And I'm glad Ortega was able to tell you the decisions, the stepping stones, the setbacks that he's gone through. At every point in time in life, we are faced with crossroads. It's what you decide to do. You know why? Bros, there are chances, there are choices, and there are consequences. When the chance comes, there's a choice. That you choose not to do anything is a choice. And there are consequences. It can be positive, it can be negative. My own journey, you know, I'm not as smart as Ortega. Ortega don't run. I hope he hasn't. I'll go find him later. You did? Okay, I better don't run. Because I enjoy you die. I started my own corporate career at the age of 24 when I joined Guinness as a management trainee. But one thing you will never find in my CV is the fact that I was a public servant. As a teenager, when I finished my A-levels, I worked at the Ministry of Defense, Officers Pay Office. I was gazetted. I was a level 6 officer, Officers Pay Office, opposite Baptist Academy in those days. It's not written unless I tell you. So when people look at me and they say, do you have public experience? I laugh. At a young age, 18, 19, I was a public servant. I was fast ahead of my curve because I finished secondary school at the age of 15. So when you look at certain people, don't just look at age. Age is just a number. It's about grace. If God has graced you, there are things I will tell you that in the course of my life, but for God, I'll be nothing. So I joined Guinness, spent 7 years in Guinness. I moved to the Coca-Cola company. I spent 11 years at Coca-Cola. But at some point in my career, at the age of 32, 33, I managed 39 countries in Africa. Some of you here are 32. I ran 39 countries from Kenya and Akwa Ibom. Boy, they didn't look at what state are you from. They didn't ask me which village. You need to call them. How do you know when to move? Move. The spirit will lead you. Depends on the kind of spirit you are following. I've been one spirit. I've been one Glenn Fiddich. All right, please move forward to my slide. Give me slide 6. Thank you very much. I'm grateful. So that you can see. I can't go back again. Forward ever, backward never. This is the chart I was working with. This is my journey. So it took a decision for me. Each of these represent borders. Borders.
Wow.
They represent borders, and I'm standing, and I'm still in a forward note. But I set up a social enterprise called Corporate Shepherd 16 years ago. The vision God gave me. That's why I'm here. When I walked out of L'Oreal, my boss said to me, "ID, how are you going to be able to fund your life?" I said, "Watch this space." I went to Paris and I resigned. I came back, told my entire team in Ghana, Nigeria, and the rest of West Africa, I am gone. Just like Ortega, your principal, our president said, subsidy, gone. Me, gone. He was watching me. 10 years after, I'm still standing. I may not look as fresh as some of you, but I'm grateful for God and for His grace. This is what a journey looks like. It is written, life is written forward, not written backwards. I'm showing you history. You don't know it. The next 10 years will be different. You won't see this chart. What is your own chart looking like? Because in each of these journeys, I couldn't go alone. I needed partners in this ship. That's partnership. You need partners. What type of friends do you have? And what kind of country do you look at? So give me the next slide. This is why I love controlling. I want you to, we've kicked off. One of the things I would have loved to do is to say to you, I would love you to, share one border you'd love to cross for business, whether it's literal or figurative, and why. Can you give the mic to 1, 2 people? One border. One border. Anybody? Yes, please. Sis, come. I will give a mic. Any other taker? Come. One border you'd love to cross for business, either literally or figuratively. Let me have the power of your mind. Thank you. What's your name?
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
All right, so I'm a healthcare professional.
Okay.
I am a major in elderly care and elderly services. So I'd like to move from being a professional healthcare provider to the business management side of things, as far as elderly care is concerned in Nigeria and West Africa.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Give it to the women have taken over, and I love that. Go ahead. Thank you.
Good morning.
Thank you.
I'm Anthony Tobias. I produce soap.
Okay,
and
so
I noticed that once you say
one border you'd love to cross. I don't want stories,
from
madam.
handmade soap to machine made.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Clap for them. Now, whenever we hear borders, you are thinking it's from Akwa Ibom to Lagos. The border you have here is your mind. Thank you. And I was saying to myself, I forgot. I normally would carry some of my books with me, but I don't get PA. We go follow me. Oga Charles, see why I need PA like you. You get plenty if you send.
Make I be your PA now.
So, next slide, please. So this just gives you a scope of, all of that was to prep and to prepare you. Look at yourself, be an Idoroyen. Next year, by the grace of God, I will be 60. But I'll tell you, God has been so gracious that starting my corporate journey relatively at 24, I'll take that, but my journey started far earlier. And 35 years and still counting by His grace. I don't want to start getting into what role, what I do, what I did. Those things don't matter. What matters is where I'm going. And so this morning, the few minutes I have left, I'm going to talk about the power of partnerships, why they matter in Nigeria and Africa, what it takes to succeed, the key ingredients, and I want to give you real-world examples. And you'll be shocked. They are just basic Nigerians like you and I. I'm not going to come here and start telling you about basic Nigerians, just like Jesus went after ordinary men, fishermen. And finally, we'll see what that will be. Give me the next slide, which is just to tell you there's a fertile ground in Africa. Many of you may not realize it, but Africa is the world's fastest growing continent. Every time in my career, I remember to present. I always start by saying, My name is I𝐸 and I run the business Central and West Africa, and I come from Africa, the only continent with a soul. So they automatically knew me to be the guy always talking about Africa, the only continent that has a soul. Show me any continent that can show you the diversity of languages, culture, food, music, all here. And Nigeria is a gateway. You may not realize it. From my early days as a corporate, they'll tell us to take the map of Africa. Some of my bosses will say, take the map of Africa, flip it the other way. It looks like a pistol, right? And then you find the trigger is Nigeria, and where the nozzle is South Africa. Those are two countries you can't joke with in Africa. I don't know whether it's true or not, but a man who can say, a man who can food at Takibo. You know, if you can't flip it, Kanibo. The point is, the only way you can find a place as great as this continent and this country is when partnerships happen. And partnerships on the fruits of that tree will become the healing of nations. Nations there stands with people. If you want me to give you a scriptural verse, it's Revelation 22, verse 1. And the leaves of the tree shall be for the healing of nations. But this is one question I have for you. Next slide. So a continent. So, raise your hand if you have ever partnered across borders. Okay? If you've ever partnered across borders, thank you. Okay, let me see any other hands. Why are the rest of you not partnering across border stations? And I've been on inspiration here for a long time. There was no advert. And if you ask them, I was paying my pocket for people like you. There's a day. I started investing in that 7, 8, almost 10 years ago, up till now. Not one time will you hear any advert running. The only advert you hear is brought to you by corporate shepherds. I was sowing a seed. The fruit is one person who would be ignited. I was crossing a border. I was partnering with a future I didn't see. You are a people I do not know, but somewhere around there, I know that lies within my course on destiny. So the person sitting next to you, partnership or networking is crossing borders. Either about exchanging cards. Sikamaga card. Card nam. After you throw it away. Or you exchange numbers. What do you do with the numbers? WhatsApp. Dadori. Damgoba. Ntenam medeta. And I say Instagram. Next slide. Am I making sense? This is why partnerships matter in Nigeria. They matter because of market access. How many of you have heard of, what does AFTA mean? What does it mean? AFC, FTA. Can someone help me? What does it mean? And none of you are entrepreneurs, most of you. You don't say AFTA one. Yeah. I need one person. Build me now, because even me, I don't know. Yes, sir. Please get the mic to that man. You see, we all have to be engaged in this.
Can I say it?
No, you can't. You are disqualified. Very disqualified. I need someone on the floor. AFCFTA. What does it mean, sir?
African Free Trade Zone.
Where's the C?
Where's the C? Council. Where is the C? Africa Continental. Clap for yourselves.
Okay, is that what you wanted to say?
I'm close. Don't worry.
It's close.
It's close.
Thought you wanted to say comfort.
It's African Continental Free Trade Area. It's a space that we have. That's why partnerships matter. There's also about resource sharing. That's what I talked to you about. And May, and we had to go through his funeral. And my friends came in from all parts of the world. My village, I normally, are they under radar? When I mean under radar, not going to. What was important was why did they fly? It was this local boy called Idorayan. But that local knowledge with the international space I had gotten to brought honor to my own little place. That is what you can do for your state. That is what you can do for your family. That is what you can do for your country. And that is what you can do for this continent. It's for you to understand that partnerships matter. And it matters because everything about you sits with how innovative about. It's about cross-cultural ideas, sparking. Cross-cultural. Ideas command resources. Amma said, you know, like Ortega said, every time people are complaining, inside that complaint, there are opportunities. Don't join the people that will be saying that I'm more sad and I'm sad. There are two sides to a coin, and then there's a third side, your own side. What are you saying? And finally, I want you to understand that data points. There's a person that asked a question about business. How do I know when my business is getting into trouble? The first thing I'll tell all of you to do, go and read this book, Who Moved My Cheese, by Spencer Johnson. How many of who has ever read that book here? Who Moved My Cheese? You will see the people that readers are leaders. Can I hear a good amen? I hear a kid, even if I see it keyboard. But the fruits you don't see. I'm telling you, I can trust God for everything I have, and that's what I do. But I'm telling you, I'm an apostle in the marketplace. That is the last frontier. You spend 7 days fasting and praying, and not one day to even think about the fasting. But Amaka, Isaiah 58, this is the type of fast I'm looking for. Some of you are on hunger strike. The place you should be reading, if you could. So, read to lead is here. So what does it take to succeed? I told you my here is to just provoke you. Because partnership, if you exchange ideas, if he gives you a peep into his world, you will see opportunities. But your mind locked, we are operating with mindsets, mind traps, and as long as it is locked, there's nothing anybody can do. You can cross-pollinate ideas, and those ideas will take you from one place to the other. But there's something that is missing. And why we do not succeed, the lack of trust. Trust, Iba. You know why? The TMA Nyong Tong Iswa, Rostaba, RUS Tiaba. We are so rusty. We've sent tea away. And if you don't have the tea, if you don't have the temperament, you don't have the capability, there can't be trust. So, you need to build what? Trust and cultural sensitivity. What does that mean? Anna Diongon, a woman who has her own clinic, had to shut her clinic, went with me because of marriage, because of partnership. We went there. She sat at home. In the morning, my son attended the British International School there. They'll get the boss, will come pick him, drop him, and she would just sit at home. Then we had to go to church. After 1 week, my wife said, I've seen something. Each time I wear this, my Ankara, they're always stopping me to ask me. So I told the women, 2 of them, I've told them to come and I'm giving it to them. Starting from church. Then she started, Kenyans call this kitenge. She now started traveling back to Lagos and Nigeria. She will come and make it, boo-boo, got your iman, boo-boo, I swallow all sizes. And she will come back. She started shuttling Nairobi, Lagos. And after a while, she needed to courier it through Kenya Airways. Understanding local nuances. They don't have the beauty of what you and I take for granted in Nigeria. But you can have a cross-border knowledge. I see that opportunity. Somebody says, I like it. What can I do? You want it? If your hand does not release, Mabasi, it doesn't come back to you. Kuya ubiang. Muka ide fare bawo. Fare. Emomum temta aka glue. Ma mo kwa ibom typical. Obo say yeah da. Da kuna mo da. Anyani ma woki tie. What it takes to succeed, you have to embrace innovation and resilience. I can't waste my energy there because Ortega and Imabong, they've done justice to it. But this is where it gets better. Securing funding and scale. This is where you talk about attracting people that will invest in your business. It starts from your family. It starts from your friends. It starts from those you met when you were in school. It starts from who you were. See, I'm not from any federal university. Uyomi Gangaga, Unicross. In fact, when we joined, it was University of Cross River State. My certificate is University of Cross River State, Uyo. So when I get into certain circles, oh, ID, tell me about, did you go to Harvard? No. Were you once at INSEAD? No. Ivy League? No. To the glory of God, I stand with kings, with princes, and they ask me, so where exactly did you get your knowledge from? I said, first of all, from him, to whom that gives freely. And secondly, I had to bury myself to study, to show myself approved. A workman. I'm not ashamed of it. I can stand and face anybody because it's called knowledge. No edge. That L inside is something you need to love. Love reading. Love what you do. That is knowledge. No edge. That L. But if yours is lost, anything. Secure funding and scale. Scale is what brings you from being a local champion to being a global champion. That's scale, and people will get in. I'll show you the examples shortly. But when you finish, you need to measure. So someone asked about his business. How do you smell? I didn't forget it. Go and read that book, Who Moved My Cheese? But more importantly, I want you to understand that life, everything has a dashboard. You must have a dashboard. Your business must have a dashboard. You look at your P&L. What is it saying? Just like the car. You are looking at the rounds per minute. You want to see acceleration. There's a place for oil. There's a place for fuel. Now, it depends on the kind of car you're driving. There are some with a vehicle. Mechanic, that is mechanic, the servicing and the car, vehicle, but a moto, and I need a dashboard. If the dashboard is functioning, it will tell you when there's no oil, when there's no water, that you are going at this speed. It gives you caution. That is when you begin to see that your business, they are called leading and lagging indicators in business. When you shun those things, it will hit you. So you need to measure, even your life, your journey, at every point in time, and I need a checkpoint. Many of you just run without checkpoint. Next, all of this is sitting. For you to build a good partnership, you need to build a strong personal brand. I'm not going to spend any time here, but I'm only going to say one thing. Many of you have online presence. What do you do with it? Your digital footprint is very faulty. If I want to hire any one of you today, all I need to do, America has said, if you want to come, let's see all your social media handles. Yoruba Bible, I don't know how to interpret it. Careful, mama. It is your that Yoruba is very rich. Many of you, one small breeze blow. Life is in the the tongue. Life and death is where? I leave that to you. Build a strong personal brand. Let me show you some examples of young men who have done it. Next slide. There are 2 slides. Yes. Strategic alliances unlock international scaling. You may start, though your beginnings may be small, when you partner with someone and build that house that has become mosaic, somebody like the Queen of Sheba will come and visit because there has been a prophetic unction that David said, now the prayers of David, the son of Jesse, are what? They are ended. Fintech, Paystack, customer-centric partnership. That's what they turned that local pain point. Payments scare Nigeria, and became a global what? It's a global win. Number 2, Andela. Andela Ire, another Nigerian co-founder. They grew Andela into Africa's top tech talent exporter. Just about what? Engineering. Just looking for an engineer here. Hey, brother, I need a speaker. You they look for somebody, you they here. Like play. Oh, boom. Today, big firms are bought into Andela. Andela is sitting with over 100,000 developers. They are local Nigerians like you and I. Do you see the state of origin there? I'm asking you. Next slide. Don't let anybody deceive you. The lesson here is that cross-border training hubs can create big value for you. Cross-border. And the lesson, partnerships bridge skill gaps. What I have, what you have, can turn everything downside up. Even Africa can become your global footstool. Let me give you the third one. Third example, another Nigerian, Nuli Juice, Ndidi. I think Ndidi's own was in the 20s. Andela was 2014, I know. The other was 2015. Now, Ndidi, if you go check it, today, when you talk about segmented channel management just from wellness, fruits, beverages, my boy, Asokoro man, I'm talking one, it's your, if you, it work, I won't for I'm research. As an singer. Noli juice. Noli juice. Next slide. All she does is blended local sourcing. And at the end of the day, she has leveraged AFC. That Continental Free Trade Agreement, Africa Development Bank takes it and gives it scale. Women-led ventures, if you're a woman, you can thrive. I brought her specifically, Noediongo. My fourth example and the last one, Calendly. This is a Nigerian born. This is, Tokwe is Nigerian born. But he just basically set up something that will allow people, Tokwe Wotono, Calendly, fix appointments, organize you. Today, it's global. We are in the age of technology as an enabler. What are you going to use those to do? Next slide. The lesson I'm going to say to you here, my dear brothers and sisters, your amen. Spread. If you don't believe in yourself, you are just walking for nothing. Well, please just move next 2 slides and I'm done. Who can tell me? Joshua 1 verse 8. Joshua 1 8. This book of the law shall not depart from where? From where? And what will happen? Thou shalt do what? Meditate. Because Bible, this book of the law, when God speaks through a vessel, he has released his words. Thou shalt meditate upon it where? Okay, day and night. After that, that you may do what? And when you finish observing, and I'm so, how many of you are doing? How many of you are observing? Success is not an accident. It's trust plus innovation. And when you are ready to take on Africa, go. There's a corridor called AFTA. That continental free trade is there for you and I. Explore, exploit it. Nigeria, Africa remains very strong because Nigeria, the youthful energy here, plus the global exchange card, ideas can boom. Last slide, please. And I'll leave the stage. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Idy. And I think you can stay for just 2 questions, all right? Very quickly. Please come. Indicate by raising your hands up. Just raise up your hands. Okay, come forward.
Good afternoon. My name is James Ikanasa. You said something about what it takes to succeed. And you mentioned one point, and the point says secure funding, start from families and friends. Now, there's a saying that goes thus.
No, I said success is trust plus innovation.
Okay.
Last one, then plus skill after. That is what I said. So Ngibo, success equals
No, I said you say we should like secure funding, start from families and friends.
It's not this success. I'm helping you model it.
Okay.
If you want to secure funding, from that side, who is in success?
Okay, if you want to secure funding, start from families and friends.
Yeah.
Now, some of us who are into business, we have found out that there's a saying that they used to say that business grows when families and friends patronize. Now, one thing I get to find out is that this family we are talking about, they want it free, and friends want it on credit. And I believe so well that you might have encountered this thing, you have crossed this border. So my question now is, when you were trying to bring in family and friends, want it for free, and how did you cross this border while growing as an entrepreneur?
Oh,
good morning, everybody.
I need to make
This is
a note
my
of
lecturer. I am so grateful.
Which lecturer be that?
See the man there.
Oga,
Please,
look well.
I'm so glad over this very lecture and this very lesson we had now.
Go ahead. So, don't mind them. Go water.
The guy in our customer.
They know what will happen now.
And listen to him. You will be a distraction if you don't allow him. It takes a lot. Rather, you should clap for him for being bold enough to come forward. So go ahead.
Thank you, sir. It is not possible for you to leave your business. As a satellite installer, you have a building to install. But the first set of people they need here is an electrician. You have to make a friend with an electrician, and you bring him into the business and tell him, you will come with me as an electrician. I am a satellite installer. Then I will run the cable for you, and you do the connection.
Okay.
At the end of the day, the same job will still bring an AC installation. Both of you can also run the same business. At the tail end of the day, your business will now come.
Okay. Do you have a question?
The question now is that when you bring people like this together to run business together and to grow together, and you see that the same people you work together to grow together are the same people who are drawing you back. What? How do we go about this?
Thank you.
Please clap for him.
Thank you.
You don't land.
Finally. Oh, you got another question. Sorry. I hope I don't forget the questions.
Okay.
No, go ahead, sir.
This is our final question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Your name, sir?
My name is Akanimo.
Akanimo. My first son is Akanimo. My son is Akanimo. So I will listen to your question very well. Thank you. Go ahead.
I'm from Minilugu government.
Yeah.
So how do we find partnership or partners that has the same mindsets in our business?
Are you married? No. Sinful Mike Inwa.
Use Mike. Now, why you no one answer with that with Mike?
Sin Mike Inwa.
Zandoga.
And your girlfriend?
Answer questions.
Okay.
Wait. You say?
Ando Masane.
Songda, remember your question. How do you find what?
Partners.
How did you find that girlfriend? Songda,
So I want to make appeal.
appeal to what? I mean, your girlfriend or no? Okay, go ahead.
Sir, please, I want to appeal through the chairman, CP, Central Planning Committee, if we can have your presentation to our different emails or WhatsApp.
Well, okay.
So
Okay.
It's a prayer. It's a man of prayer.
We'll see how that goes.
Thank you. Please
Doctor,
clap for him. And if there is any partner that aligns with his partnership agenda, all right. So the first question had to do with funding. You know, let me be honest with you. Very honest with you. Whatever your age is, divide it by 2. I tell you, if you are 40 and you go by 2, there's a first half, there's a second half. Many times your second half is a function of your first half. The men that knew you when you were 1, age 20, are the men that will know you when you are age 40. And you go to them and say to them, I need a loan of 1 million. I need to invest in my business. They'll look at you and say, look at this joker. A lot of you have bastardized your future because of the way you live. When you don't live right, it will hurt you in the future. Nobody will be ready to give you 1 naira. A few days ago, my son says I should always say I'm short of cash. I needed some amount of money. And I looked up, I said, wow. I said, if I call, how many of my friends can I call? Let me see, I called 5 of them. I called the first one. I said, I need 5 million. He said, okay, send your account number. I called the next one. I said, I need 1.5. I didn't say I want to borrow. I said, I need 1.5. He sent it. I called another, my friend, that one is in Abuja. The other one is in Lagos. The other one sent another 1 million. What I needed was 10 million at that point in time. But 4 guys just sent everything to me. And I now said to them, let me know, I'm going to get it to you in 1 week. They said, ID, even if you don't give us again, it's okay. The first person is a classmate of mine in Baptist Academy. He runs an oil firm. He has his own oil and gas firm. He said, you know, we're classmates in Form 1. We sat together, 1C. And he said, this is the first time you are asking me for something. Chris, even if you ask me for 50 million, I will give you because you are worth it. Credit worthy. You've never asked me before. For you to ask, it means you need it. Can I be honest with you? I did that just to test myself, to know if I'm still living the dream. The second, same pattern. They were all people in my past, not present. And then the last person was someone in my present, a mentee of mine, who runs an experiential marketing agency. I said, Michael, I did short of cash. I need cash. He said, okay, how much you need? I said, like 2 million. He said, okay, send me the account number. I sent it to him. Next minute, he put it there. All the monies they sent to me are in one account. And I started calling them. I said all of that to say this. Many of you have mortgaged your future by the way you live. You are not trustworthy. On a simple deal, you cut someone, you will meet that person in front. When that person leaves there, we'll say to one person, that's one guy who shafted me. 10 people will hear. And before you know it, your news will be around. Only you will not know that they don't know. So when you talk about friend, in a gap or a need, if it is not, it's dead on arrival. The only patronage you will get will be family and friends. After a while, so you must go to the model. Why are you in business? Why are you in this? What are you trying to do? Let me give you 4 things that I'll leave with you on this question. What do you love? What you love is your passion. What does the world need? What the world needs becomes your mission. What are you good at? That is your profession. And finally, what can you get paid for? That becomes your vocation. That is a Japanese concept called Ikigai, I-K-I-G-A-I. You can Google it. That's why you need to read to lead. Thought, leadership. The central point, the reason for your being is Ikigai. Anybody will invest in you. When Ortega was talking about his example, that his MD had to support him, the entire board. And I want to believe I probably will not be, I'm not going to call it, he didn't call any name. So, but I know the MD is talking about, because the last 3 MDs of Wema are my friends. So it must be one of them. And they are great guys. But if he had not been someone that resolute, would never happen. And when you finish there, you start scaling when you get to somebody saying, that's where the AFC FTA comes. That's where AFDB comes. And somebody has to stand for you. And they call that, what? Guarantor, right? And that's where you find an advocate. Who will advocate for you? If you find someone that has seen you being diligent in your way, that's when you stand before kings. They'll say, go to so-so person. That's my son. That's my brother. That's my sister. And the access door will open. But bad behavior and the things you do now, it will catch you for front. That's one. The second question was about what? Huh? Huh? About
strengthening partnerships.
Bros, you know that question where they asked me, electrician and wire tapper. If you wear the kind goggle way you wear, you know if you see partner. You must, deep calls onto deep. Why? What kind of friends do you have? Partnership is not something, you don't just wake up and get anybody. That's why I use the institution of marriage. Marriage is very sacred. You want a life partner and you just see anybody, your mind is polluted. That's why sex, nudity sells. Partner I out on to ship. It's either, it's not today, because there are many ships. So there's friendship, there's partnership, and you know another kind of ship. Huh? There's also mentorship. There are different ships. If your mentor becomes your tormentor, this friendship,
Wahala.
when they take I enter, I say partnership. The ship where you want to enter is already shipwrecked. And you know that that man is a scammer. But you tell yourself, nah, my guy, you don't come 100 naira from the 200 we wanna get. You still they stay with them. Let me tell you, business is not about sentiments. You're in business for a business and just treat it the way it should be. So, I can't tell you enough, but if you see anybody that is not worth his salt, don't ever make the mistake of making such a person your partner. Because when you sleep with dogs, you do what? Huh? No. When you sleep with dogs, you do what? Oh, you don't want me to answer. Huh? If you sleep with dogs, what do you catch? First answer, 5,000 naira.
Going, go. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together. See us now, take me 5K now. So can I answer? If I answer, should I collect the money? What you go? What, you mean now me? You go buy this thing? No, be so. Make my own 50K. Okay. Who know the answer? Come, tell me. Who knows? Going, come, come now.
If you stay with dog, you will have ikobewa. What do you call it?
What a rush. I beg, sit down. I think, no worry, the in don't go. No vex. Bros, you don't need that money now. You be too big now. Oh yeah, Google it now. Now don't get Google. If you sleep with dogs, there are many answers. Oh. It depends on where you are taking it from. You can get rabies, or you behave like a dog. Which one again? Anyway, so we're all here, and I hope if you have been inspired by that session, please put your hands together again for our big brother, mentor. Did you see his profile? I only got two. I said Samsung and Cadbury. There's Guinness, there's L'Oreal. And where is that his profile again? Massive. Coca-Cola. And that shows consistency, and that shows someone who knows his onions. So when people come here to talk, take it that they really know what they're saying. And I hope that you have gotten some notes down. And if you have more questions, please just look at your program. Go to the back. Quickly do that. I think there's an email just behind. The email here, and these questions will be answered. Of course, you know that this is a governor's program, so that's why we pay attention to details. We chose the right speakers to come here. I think the summary of what Mr. IDNang has said is that partnerships are like jollof rice. If you cook am well, it goes sweet. But if you don't cook am well, wetin go happen? Eh? Okay. Eh? Your belly go tell you now. All right. Who doesn't love jollof rice here? If you know, say you don't like jollof rice, please leave this place. Stand up. Anybody? All right. So, thank you very much. On that note, on that partnership note, please turn to the person next to you and teach him. They talk to you already. Talk to this guy. You never talked to this guy since. Hello, my sister. Talk to this other lady now. See networking. Guy, now your baby that. Nice one. We don't say make you toast them. We say just talk. Hello, how do you do? What do you do? How can we collaborate? Collaborate in open place. Oh, no before. You know what I'm talking about. On that note, it's time to take a break. Let's take a short break. Stretch your legs. Network. We'll give you some time. We'd like to invite our speakers to just head out and go take some light refreshments. And please interact. Do not be shy. This is Ignite. Ibom-Ignite 2025. Use the hashtag on social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, wherever you are. And we still have another session to go right after the break. So if you can, if any of your friends had registered and they were given a code or a number, please invite them to come. All right? We'll make space for them. All right, so we'll catch you right after the break, but let me invite Professor Ibom-LED to just, talk with you a bit while we are networking and shaking it off. Thank you very much. Ignite to accelerate. What a rush. It's like our live band don't come today. Live band, are you here? Brass band. All right. Where's the DJ? Give us some good music. Oh, yeah, now give us music now. Let's go. Thank you. All right. Prof.
Hello.
let's just take a few announcements so at least we know when we are getting back and what we're doing next. Just like yesterday, I'm sure when the next session starts, we'll make lunch will be available. It will just be passed. I believe that yesterday was neatly done, and of course it wasn't disorganized and rowdy. So please let's just understand that. Quickly, we just like to allow the media guys note some things so we could get some gifts across to people based on what they will say to us. If you have your phones, please just get your phones out. The media guys have asked me to tell you to do a selfie. Just do a selfie and then post it on your handle. And of course, do the hashtag that you see on the screen. If you're not also following Ibom-LED online on Facebook, on Instagram, please just do so. The first 20 persons to do so, the media guys, I'm told you have a gift. So please just get out your phones now before we continue with the networking. Wherever you're seated, you could do a selfie with your friend next to you and just post it on your social media handle and hashtag Ibom-LED 2025. You're competing with my voice. And ignite to accelerate. Just hashtag that and, of course, get it through. During the break, we have the red carpet sessions where you could also take pictures and post it, do a story. And the second thing you need to do to get a gift is just do a little story about Ibom-LED conference and post it on your handle. Of course, attach and add up the pictures you've taken. The media guys are going to be following up. If you don't hashtag this, then there's no way they are going to get it. So just do the hashtag. And of course, you can tag Ibom-LED. Apart from the hashtag, tag Ibom-LED on your handle and just let it go. So we'll take a quick break where we network, we talk to people, exchange ideas, get to know what someone is doing, find out how you can help the next person, find out how you can get money from that person. Not literally asking them, can you give me money? But solving a problem they have to add value to their lives, and then they pay for it. Okay? So we take another 30 minutes. By 1:30, we should be back here because our facilitators and panelists will have been back. Then we'll take the last shot for this conference and, of course, begin to wrap up. Thank you so much. And for those that are doing that, the media guys, please just take note. I'm sure people have started doing that. Let's get the first 20 persons and we roll from there. Thank you. So, DJ music, you can get it done.